Hi, I'm Nina Marie Lister. I'm a professor in the School of Urban and Regional Planning at Toronto Metropolitan University, where I founded and direct the Ecological Design Lab. What we do in the lab is we connect people to nature in cities. Our cities do a wonderful job in public spaces of protecting biodiversity. We have pollinator protection strategies, tree canopy and forest protection strategies. We have policies that govern water infiltration. The one thing we don't do is support homeowners who try to do the very same thing on their own private property. One thing we as gardeners can do is stand together to say that we are demonstrating an obligation and an opportunity to support biodiversity right at home on our private yards and gardens. For me, as the director of an ecological design lab where I teach the next generation of professionals about what it is to live sustainably, to design and to plan sustainably, my garden ought to be a reflection of that. When we choose to garden around our homes, this is a place for most of us that is therapeutic, it's healing, it's beautiful, and it also provides a number of benefits that might not be the first reason we think about digging in the dirt, and yet it's the closest available opportunity for most of us to make a difference at a time of profound climate change, biodiversity loss, crises that are intersecting. And that's probably not top of mind for most people, and yet it's embedded in everything that we do. Right now, there's a lot of work going on around advocacy for nature-based gardening, habitat gardens, naturalized garden. People are beginning to understand that our yards and gardens are more than monocultural turf grass. We don't need to do a whole garden at one time. We can start in the shrub border. We can diversify, thicken, and improve the soil. Even if all you're doing is adding compost and letting the leaves lie where they fall, that's something. That's contributing habitat. And it may not be the most glamorous or colorful version, but it's something we can do. Unfortunately, when we go to our nearest supermarket or big box retail store, we're offered a very limited palette. It's kind of like imagining the possibility of color in your life and only having 6 to choose from. Think about that in terms of plants. What we want to do in a habitat garden is plant something that is native to the area, that has the best chance of genetic strength and survival, and that actually offers feed, forage, and other opportunities for different species, pollinating insects, migratory songbirds, even amphibians and reptiles that need to be housed in places that are rich in diversity. And one thing we can do is encourage our local retailers to supply natively adapted species that are healthy, strong. They may not have the biggest flowers, but they're feeding the most variety of other species. And that's something we can give back. It's important when habitat gardening to know your rights as a gardener. You have a legal right as much as you might have a moral responsibility to provide life for the flourishing species in our community. Many people are very concerned about order and aesthetics conforming to one idea of beauty. And what I'd offer is that when you're engaging in a diverse and flourishing garden, a habitat garden that is for more than just the plants that are there, talk to your neighbors, offer a plant and seed exchange, put up a small sign. Many organizations offer free signage for habitat gardens to inform the neighbors and your community about what you're doing and the gift you're giving. You can do this by downloading them free even at our own website on the Ecological Design Lab. My students have designed beautiful free signage. Many organizations like Carolinian Canada, the David Suzuki Foundation, they all have signage as well. One of the things you can also do is to share a plant, share a cutting, offer an opportunity for people to see firsthand the gift you're giving to the neighborhood through your habitat garden. But most of all, just being aware that there is no law that says your garden has to look a certain way. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And a flourishing, diverse garden is often going to look a little rough. Your neighbors might complain about the way your garden looks, but what they ought to be worried about is only whether it is safe. That's the main thing about habitat gardening, is it's just got to be a safe and flourishing place for all. The work that we do in my research lab is all about bylaws for biodiversity, or providing legal, legislative, and planning support for gardeners who want to diversify and to create habitat for other species. There's court rulings, legislation, and new enforcement procedures in our municipalities that recognize the important right of gardeners to protect biodiversity right at home, right outside your doorstep, in your yard. For anyone who's interested, please visit the ecologicaldesignlab.ca. On our website, my students have produced wonderful research that's easy to read, free to download, and there to help you in your garden flourish.
Thanks for watching. We hope you'll like our videos and subscribe. Learn more about gardening in Toronto by visiting our website, signing up for our newsletter, following us on Facebook or Instagram, or by joining us at one of our many events.